Hey everybody, Erica here. So I'm spending this week getting our family ready to travel across the country. We're driving from Texas to Minnesota for Christmas break to visit my family and my husband's family. And one thing that always really factors into my planning and packing and organization with travel for the holidays is how can I make sure that my kids sleep while we're there, so that I can also sleep and have a restful vacation. So I thought that today I would talk to you guys about how to make sure that your child gets some decent sleep even while the holidays are chaotic and maybe you're traveling or maybe people are at your house. And so I'm going to talk a little bit about that today. So first of all, white noise. White noise is really always a good idea, but it's an especially good idea when your child is in a new environment where there might be new and unfamiliar sounds throughout the night or early in the morning. And it's also a good idea, even if they're just home and you're gonna have a house full of people who aren't gonna be going to bed at their bedtime and it's gonna be noisy and it's gonna make it harder for them to fall asleep and stay asleep. So if you don't already have a white noise machine, maybe get one just for the holidays. And if you have one, make sure that it's at the top of your packing list. And kind of along the lines of the white noise machine, also something to consider packing is a Blackout Shade. So I know my son, we have definitely gotten him in the habit of needing it to be pretty dark to take a nap. If it's not, he's just like checking out the environment and all the things going on. And that's especially true if it's a new environment. So if you're going to be traveling somewhere new and you'd like naps to happen, in a pack and play or something in a different room, then I would suggest a Blackout Shade so that you can get that room really dark. It will help that room look less unfamiliar during nap time. And also if they're used to darkness, then it will be dark again for their nap and help them take a nap in a new place, which can be tricky, that daytime sleep in a new place. We personally have a Blackout Shade that has window clings, and so it's packable and travelable, and I don't leave home without it for a long period of time. So it'll definitely be coming with us. And we got it on Amazon. I'm sure there are many versions of it, but that means that you probably could get it in time for your holiday travel as well. The third tip is if you have a day that's going to be crazy busy and there's just no way that you can get your child to take a regular nap when they normally would, I would suggest taking a little time, maybe just you and your kid, and taking some quiet time. That's going to help with the overstimulation that can build up and usually is reset by that daytime nap time. And be flexible. Sometimes it's going to go like that. My child certainly hasn't napped every day of his life. There have been times when it just doesn't happen and we're not coming home to make sure that it does. So I will say that I would not suggest doing this 2 days in a row. Explain to everyone that your child isn't going to have fun. No one with your child is going to have fun if they skip a nap again or if they keep doing this on a regular basis, and figure out a way to make it a priority. I also find for us that nap time is a great time for us to kind of take some time, especially when we are, with a lot of people or family or it's been really busy. So sure, one day skip the nap, have fun and enjoy the day, but the next day try to make it happen if you can for everybody's sake. The other thing I would say about skipping a nap is try to get an earlier bedtime that day. Move bedtime ahead, maybe even a half hour or maybe even more if they seem really tired. Let's see. Next, bedtime FOMO. So if you're in a scenario where maybe there are a bunch of cousins and they're not able to, or they're not going to sleep at the same time as your child normally goes to sleep, it can be okay, first of all, to push bedtime a little later. But in general, keeping the schedule is going to help with them falling asleep. So my suggestion here would be to give yourself a little bit longer of time for that bedtime routine. It's going to give them extra time to wind down, decompress from all the excitement of the day, get used to the idea of going to bed maybe in a new place, or just take some extra time to help them be able to fall asleep well. even if you're hosting and you feel like, I got to get back as soon as I possibly can, designate somebody else to kind of cover for you while you're gone, and remind yourself that a little extra time at the beginning will probably save you from a child who is fighting bedtime or, doesn't want to go to sleep. Try to take the time to help them wind down and feel comfortable with going to sleep, even if they're pretty wound up and don't want to go to sleep. And then along those lines, also watch for overtiredness in the forms of early wake-ups and nighttime wake-ups. So if you have a child who's overtired, they're not going to be sleeping as soundly, and they're going to be more likely to wake up when they sleep cycles, or in the early morning when they're not sleeping as deeply. So if those things start happening, the first thing I would ask yourself is, have I, been getting this kid enough sleep? And if not, then start making that a priority if you want to get sleep as well. If you're traveling, I suggest trying your best to keep your child in your own bed, or in their own bed if you can. If they wake up, comforting them in their bed and then trying to lay them back down in their bed, not making coming into your bed the first option. But also keep in mind that if you have a child who's generally a good sleeper at home, generally it's not going to derail their sleep to let them sleep with you for a night or two while in a new place, especially on vacation. I can't say that's always true. There are definitely kids who are like, wow, this is great and I want to do this all the time now. But generally, once you get back to their own environment or things are more normal for them, they will go back to what they're used to. So try not to worry about it too much. Next, set your own boundaries. Obviously, this is true with so many things parenting when you are traveling and visiting family members especially, but you're likely to hear a family member tell you that you're being too strict about bedtime and nap time and you need to be more flexible. Remember that you are the parent and you know your child best, and that your child is depending on you to help them have a good time as well, and that means being well rested. So kindly let your family know ahead of time that you guys will be deciding, and how much sleep that your child needs, and that bedtime's important and all that, and stick to your guns. This is for your benefit and it's for the benefit of your child. You want them to have a good time too. And then finally, if you are traveling for the holidays, or even if you are hosting for the holidays and things have just gotten kind of crazy, I suggest, if you can, taking a couple of down days when you get home. That doesn't have to mean doing nothing, but a couple days where you don't have other obligations and you can really get sleep back on track. If they nap at home, getting a regular nap schedule established again, getting that bedtime back at a regular time. Don't make any other exciting plans when you return or when everybody leaves, and spend some time getting your child back on track, and they probably will with no real problems. And other than that, have a wonderful holiday season. And I hope that some of these tips are helpful and help it be more enjoyable for you. Thanks for tuning in.